Good afternoon, cats and kittens, pups and pooches. It's Susie Q96. And this is not a coin show. This is not a detecting show. This is not a member of the Deadbeat Club show. This is unfortunately a health update show. Uh, those of you who have been following the never ending saga since I had my pulmonary embolism over a year ago, know that I've been having a lot of problems with my eyes and recently had to have a brain biopsy done after it was discovered that I had an inflammatory tissue growth in the eye socket and behind the eye socket of my right eye. They sent that biopsy, ironically, to the University of Michigan. And those of you who have been following my saga know I've been trying to get back to Michigan for health reasons for over 2 years. So, when the University of Michigan came back with a match on the biopsy, we were pretty hopeful. They matched me up with another rare autoimmune disorder. This one is called IgG4 RD. That the RD stands for related disease. Um, anyway, we thought, oh goody, we know what this is now. There are treatments available for it. Hopefully, we can do something to save the eyesight in my right eye, which right now I can see only through the bottom half of the eye. The top half is being obstructed by pressure on my optic nerve. Hi, Suzette. So, anyway, I went to the eye specialist who did the biopsy last week, and he was very hopeful and said that my left eye was getting stronger, compensating for the right eye. And we thought we were going to be heading down the path to some sort of resolution. Hi, Cynthia. So, yesterday I went to the autoimmune specialist who specializes in all of these things that I have, including the new diagnosis of the IgG4. This is where things got bad. Because I have so many other autoimmune disorders, I am on a biological called Enbrel. Now, Enbrel controls the rare form of psoriasis I have. It controls my psoriatic arthritis, my osteoarthritis, and the remains of my ulcerative colitis. Now, I lost my entire large intestine to ulcerative colitis. So I have these four diseases that are all being controlled by this one medication, Enbrel. In order to get the treatment for the IgG4, which we don't even know at this point if that treatment will do anything to save my eyesight or not. We also don't know if that IgG4 has gotten into other parts of my body because it can get into 8 different organs. But anyway, in order to get the treatment for the IgG4, they say that I have to go off the Enbrel. Now, if I go off the Enbrel, I know exactly how long I can go before all of those diseases that it controls start acting back up, and that is 16 days. I asked them how long I would have to be off it, and they said the rest of my life. Now, if I go off the Enbrel, I'll be in a wheelchair within probably 2 months. It's the medication that keeps me on my feet. So, what we have to do now is ascertain whether or not the growth of these benign tissues, they are not cancerous, that is affiliated with the IgG4, uh, is it more severe than the other disease? Right now, I am not ready to give up walking and being living in excruciating pain in order to treat this disease. Bear in mind, I cannot take NSAIDs. So 85% of the anti inflammatory and pain medications on the market, I cannot take. So they're basically telling me you can live in a wheelchair in excruciating pain and we can control what's going on with your eye. And if it's anywhere else in your body, we can try to control that. Or you can stay on the steroids, which are not good, and try to control it that way and still be able to walk and function. So I'm not being given a very good choice at this point. Uh, what I did tell them was unless they can show me that it has spread into these other organs, I am not willing to give up the Enbrel and be in constant pain and lose my ability to walk. To that end result, we're going to be doing what's called a PET scan, where they check your entire body for all sorts of hot spots and diseases. And I will not be making any decisions until I see that. I just can't. I am not going to do it. I just am not. Until they can give me more data, I'm not going to do it. And then the doctor says, uh, you really need to be in an area where there are people with more expertise on this drug. I mean, on this disease, the IgG4. Well, I've been trying to get back to Michigan for 2 years, but I can't afford the housing there now. I got bumped back to the bottom of the low income housing list, and I've been sitting there ever since. And they're telling me that it could be up to 2 years before I can get into low income housing. Now, University of Michigan is where all the studies on a lot of these autoimmune disorders come from. They are pretty much the best in the nation on it. So I asked this gentleman, where did he think I should go for better focus on this? And he said Duke University, which is in North Carolina. At which point I had nothing to do but either cry or laugh, because Duke University is the one that sent me to him because they didn't know what it was. So y'all can kind of see where I'm at here. I am stuck between a rock and a hard place. So for the time being, I'm not changing anything. Right now, I'm functioning pretty well. Ideally, it's not great that I'm having to take steroids every day, but I am not ready to, as Werner said, die in a wheelchair to treat something that I don't have enough data on to know what effect it's going to actually have on me if I go off the steroids. I mean, I know what's going to happen if I go off the steroids because they are controlling the inflammation in my eye. But right now, that's where I'm at. I'm until they do that PET scan and they can show me that the IgG4 is worse than the combination of the other four diseases that I have going on that are controlled by the Enbrel. I'm not not doing anything. It is very frustrating. You're right, Team Clambake. Um, the reason I cannot have both of the medications is they are both an injectable biological drug that causes some stress on your immune system. Now, the fear is if I were to take both of them at the same time, it would mess up my autoimmune system to the point that I would be susceptible to catching just about anything and dying. So, if you hear me sniffling, I'm sorry. I'm trying as hard as I can not to let it get to me. It's you know, I don't really know what to do, but I know I've got to have more information on IgG4. I'm going to try on Tuesday after the holiday to get a hold of someone at the University of Michigan to see if they have any clinical trials or case studies or anything going that could get me up there and provide me with a place to stay long, at least for long enough for them to include my case in their study. Now, I don't know how that's going to work. There are some other medications that they have been using for IgG4. Unfortunately, I am allergic to them. They are two of them are the same medications they started me out on before they got me to the Enbrel, and I had absolutely horrible reactions to them and almost died. So I got I'm basically painted into a corner where there's only one medication they can offer, and the only way I can take it is to sacrifice treatment for four other diseases. So I'm not going to do that, at least not at this point. I I'm going to wait until they have provided me information from the PET scan. I'm going to try to get a hold of the University of Michigan because clearly this gentleman has told me flat out up front I need to be somewhere where they have people with more expertise in this particular field. IgG4 is rare. That's why they had to do the brain biopsy and send it off to the University of Michigan to figure out what I had. So I'm gonna have to start really, really pinching pennies, which means I'm still going to be doing a once a month giveaway. I had just cut back to the once a month giveaway on my channel. But instead of having two giveaway packages, um, instead of giving away two packages, I'll have two available, and whoever wins gets to pick which one they want. And I will only be sending out one a month. Uh, if a detectorist wins, they can pick a detecting package. If a coin collector wins, they can pick a coin package. But I won't be able to be sending out two anymore. I had hoped to be able to send one for each of my shows, but that's not going to happen. Right now, like I said, until they do all these other tests, I've decided I'm going to stay with the treatment plan I'm on right now, which is keeping this under control. My eye doesn't seem to be getting any worse. The growth doesn't seem to be getting any bigger. So that's what I'm going to stick with for now. I'm going to do what I can do to try to figure out how to get to the University of Michigan. Um, one of those options is try to go back to the original plan that I had, which was to buy a motorhome. Now, my family doesn't want me trying to live full time in a motorhome because of my health issues, and I get that. But my brother does have his for sale. Uh, it's a Road Trek. I don't know if you're familiar with Road Treks, but they are slightly bigger than a passenger van, but they have everything in them. I have not even broached the idea with him of purchasing it, but I know what he wants for it. Um, I don't have enough money to buy it, obviously, but um, that may be an option that, depending upon what happens with these test results, if he has not sold it by then, um, that perhaps I could buy it to go back and forth to Michigan from Virginia until such time as I can find low income housing there. I mean, it has everything you need in it, and I would have a place to park it while I was there, as far as going up there just for treatments and that kind of thing. So, got a lot of things I've got to try to sort out in my head, but um, I do not have any plans of giving up my channel quite yet. I know people have been asking me if I was going to get stickers again and that kind of stuff. And as much as I would like to, I can't really afford to invest in those things right now. Um, unless somebody wants to sign up on the Patreon thing. We are going to have a July drawing at the end of July, and there will be a separate drawing again for the Patreon sponsors on that. And that one you can sponsor the channel for like $2.96 a month, which is, basically give up a cup of coffee. Um, and all that money really pays for is like postage and stickers, the things I guess you gotta have to run a channel. But anyway, I'm not really wrapped around that as much as I am wrapped around trying to figure out how to deal with this diagnosis. This was not what we were expecting. Um, when I was sent to this guy, I guess the specialist that sent me to him did not realize that you cannot be on two biological type medicines at the same time, and just assumed that I would be able to take the medicine and things would be under control and maybe get my eyesight back. But that's not how it's working. So, anyway, I just wanted to let everybody know that's what happened with the diagnosis of the IgG4 RD. And frankly, the guy doesn't seem like he gives a rat's behind, because he doesn't have me coming back for 4 months. Now, I am going to call on Tuesday and talk to the specialist that sent me to him about this 4 month thing. Clearly, they don't care, you know, and that's the problem with healthcare in the state of or Commonwealth of Virginia. And I apologize if I am not answering your comments in the stream. I am on my phone, and the writing is very, very small. on my phone, and I'm trying to stay focused on telling you what's going on. So, anyway, that's basically what it is. Uh, Dimebag's got a new karaoke channel. I was watching Dimebag doing karaoke the other night. Yeah, Cynthia, I'm serious. 4 months. Heck, my eye doctor has me come in more often than that. Yeah, he's not going to be amused, I don't think. But anyway, if you missed the diagnosis part, you can go back to the beginning. Uh, so, anyway, that is where I am at on this. I have now 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it is 9 different autoimmune disorders. I am a difficult patient. One of my doctors calls me her alien patient, but we never dreamed that it would be impossible to treat one major ailment without stopping the treatment permanently for 4 others. We just that wasn't even a remote blink in our eye that was what was going to happen. But it is what it is. And he didn't even offer to do the PET scan until when he told me I would have to give up the treatment for all the other things to do this one. I said, well, that's not going to happen. I guess we're done here. And he hemmed and hawed. And I said, well, I'm going to call Dr. Ramey and talk to him. And when I said that, then he said, well, we could do a PET scan and see if it's in other parts of your body. And then wherever you go, you won't have to start all over again. Well, why didn't you offer that up in the first place? Why did you wait until I said I was going to go back and consult the other specialist? And then tell me to come back in 4 months. So, yeah. Yeah, there just really are no satisfying answers with autoimmune disorders. But what the PET scan will do, and I have been trying to get them to do one for almost 3 years, is it will give an overall picture of which diseases are affecting which parts of my body, and then we can prioritize what are the most important areas to treat. Now, if I have this tissue growing next to my heart, let's say, or it is going to grow in my liver and my kidneys or something, and I have to go to dialysis, and then we've got looking at a whole different picture. But right now we're looking at I pretty bad pain in my eye, and we're looking at partial blindness in my eye, but we're not looking at dying in a wheelchair. So they got to do these tests. And I did force the issue. And if I have not heard from the imaging by next week, I will be calling back down there going, when are you scheduling the PET scan? When are you scheduling the PET scan? And I will stay on them until they are so sick of me that they will schedule it. And the one doctor, the guy that did the brain biopsy, his name is Dr. Ramey. He's in Roanoke. He is awesome. He was also, oddly enough, a few years back, did eye surgery for Dawn the metal detective and also Dawn's father, because Dawn is originally from here in Virginia. Uh, so he is, yeah, he's been my knight in shining armor on this whole thing. So when I talk to him on Tuesday, I'll have more information because I got a feeling he's going to start poking them with a sharp stick. But anyway, that's where we're at. I'm at this point, I'm not ignoring the IgG4, but I am not going to change my whole treatment plan without more information. So that's the update. What does it say? How about some relative near Michigan where you could possibly park a trailer? Well, I have been investigating that, Werner. I don't really have any relatives in Michigan, but I do have a group of people that I consider second family. I have a lot of friends up there. Uh, but I can't really maintain like a motorhome anymore, not like on a permanent basis. I used to live in one, but because of my health, I can't really do that. Now, a regular mobile home or a tiny house or something like that, I could do. But ideally, I need to be in the low income senior housing that has all of the amenities, including people that shovel snow and do all of that stuff. But if I could get up there, even to go up there for like if there's a 3 or 4 week study, and I could get up there with a motorhome and just stay on somebody's property while the study was going on, and maintain my apartment here in Virginia. It's a 1 day drive, so that is just another thing I'm looking at. But I just got slapped with all this yesterday. I went to Roanoke thinking, okay, they're going to write me a prescription and try to get me off the steroids and onto this prescription. And that wasn't at all how it turned out. That was the way it had been made to sound to me at Duke University and at the other places that I've been. I don't think any of the doctors were expecting this. So, anyway, I'm just letting everybody know because I don't know what's going to be happening over the next couple of months with this. Right now, we've been controlling it with steroids, but ideally, you really can't stay on steroids long term. You're not supposed to. It may be my only viable option, though. At this point, I don't know yet, but I'm going to make them run the tests, and but I'm not just going to say make the arbitrary decision to go off the medications that are controlling almost half of the autoimmune problems that I have. That that's just not a viable option right now. So anyway, I had told everybody I would let them know what the specialist said. Wasn't what I expected it was going to be, but that's where I'm at. I'm going to do another video later on that has nothing to do with my health. I've been accused of focusing too much on my health during my shows, but people that don't have 9 autoimmune disorders don't know what it's like. Uh, you kind of have to focus on your health. You get in the show and halfway through you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. So anyway, The other show I'm going to be doing later is a mail call. I have some mail here from a couple folks, and I didn't want to mix it in with the health thing. So I will, after I get myself calmed back down and stuff, I'll uh, do a mail call. Got some cool stuff. So that's where we're at. And I appreciate everybody sticking with me through all my health issues. I still have the naysayers out there who insist I'm not really sick and I'm just making it all up trying to get money. Uh, I can think of better ways to get money, but this is not one of them. It just isn't. So, all right. Yeah, health has priority. All right, bye, Warner. Thank you, honey. All right. So that's all, folks. I'll see y'all later on. Thanks for putting up with me. Keep me in your prayers. I need all help I can get. Bye bye.